But if I present myself, even in my constituency, people would rather elect an idiot than me because I don't have money to give them. Now, when that idiot goes to sleep in parliament and Uhuru is having his way, they shouldn't complain. So Uhuru is just a president like any other. You give him leg room, you give him an arm, he'll want the whole body. You give him 1 meter, he'll want 10 meters to be president.
Do you think she might be as loyal as the DP to the president?
Of course, it will be that's another issue. Yeah. There will be a lot of fireworks.
Here and there. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Understanding Politics. My name is Jadiel Kabiro, here with Professor Herman Manyora. Professor, how are you doing?
Well, thank God that I'm well. Yes.
Our subscribers currently are at 44,000. People are subscribing, people are sharing. What's your message for them?
It's good for people to subscribe, and we urge others to subscribe. We want to grow together. We want to walk this journey together. We want to have a national conversation on many of the issues, especially as we head to 2022.
And I was looking at the stats for the channel, and most people haven't subscribed and they are watching. You find out that most people that watch the channel haven't yet clicked the subscription button. Yes. And you say that it's absolutely free.
It is free. Just subscribe. It means you are able to engage with us, and anytime we have a video, it comes to you immediately. You don't have to go looking for it. It just pops on your phone or your laptop. That's what subscription means. Yeah,
that's what it means. You get to click the notification bell right there, and then you'll get to be able to watch the videos as soon as they're out.
And that's it. Subscribe.
And that's it. Looking at the comments, though, so many people want to meet you. Most people are looking to vie for presidency or for MCA positions or Senate seats, and they're writing on the comments, they're like, hey, I would like to just have a talk with you, Prof, so that I can know how the political game is being played in this country. What would you tell them?
I thank them for that appreciation and recognition. There are two ways. One is that I am a very available person. I'm simple. If it wasn't for this corona, you'll find me in a matatu or on bus anytime. Those who have found me sometimes wonder how. You can access me. You go on the internet. I've not hidden my details. My telephone number is there. I'm a free Kenyan. Sijakula mbuzi ya mtu. So I don't fear. And I'm not an enemy to anybody. So secondly, there is you can engage with us formally because we are going to be having interactive segments here. We can even come and we talk here on the live. Remember, we are also going live. Once we get our act together, it requires a little infrastructure. We will be doing live stream, YouTube. We are also going to go live on Facebook as we talk like this. But much more technically, I have established a small company called Herman Analytica, which will give formal engagement with anybody who wants to run for elective politics. We will help you organize your rallies, branding, we'll give you the statistics you need, the data you need, the techniques you need to win an election.
So one package, you just come to the
you can come and we engage you formally.
Okay, let's look at some of the things people said about your last week's video where you talked about President Uhuru should be left to rule undisturbed, and this has caused quite a stir. Professor, in your previous video, you talked about the president being left to rule undisturbed. This comes from the judiciary, the civil society. Listen to what Ian Ann said. Mr. Manyora, when it comes to the rule of law, there is no negotiation. Everyone, including the president, must respect the rule of law. We're in a country where we're being ruled by the rule of law and not dictatorship.
No, he didn't get what I was saying. And there are many people who have called me, texted me. Some have even said bad things about me. They didn't understand. People are even saying rule. I didn't mean rule in the manner of a king.
I saw that on Twitter.
It's not. You've seen it. I'm not a man of a king. You know, when you are looking for a title, you also go into gymnastics to get a good title, to capture what you want to say. So rule is in the manner of a title. Not that the rule should rule as a king. We are a democracy. Secondly, I do not mean that anybody, including Uhuru, should disobey the laws. In fact, if the president disobeys the laws, that is the beginning of the end of this country. What I said, we should not be overexcited about little liberties and overextend them. I meant, for example, the people of Kenya have given Uhuru Kenyatta the mandate to lead this country.
Yeah.
The executive cannot work with a lot of interference from many quarters. But in particular, I meant that when somebody has been made a CEO of a company, he must work as a CEO. You see, any rules, any laws, any regulations must be facilitative. No rule or law or regulation should be an encumbrance to the executive. Otherwise, he will not rule. He will not work. He will not lead. The president will not lead if there are too many encumbrances. And I said, the civil society in this country are moving from their role of moderating power. Power must be moderated. Because democracy is only as good as the vigil we keep. And it is civil society that keeps the leaders on their toes. Very important role. But the civil society in this country will want to take the power from the president. That can't work.
How about the people that say the 2010 constitution has denied him the power that used to be with the president?
No, not at all. You see, what people don't understand the 2010 constitution. The people even don't understand the doctrine of the separation of powers. These three arms are interdependent as arms of government. But remember, government is an instrument of state. So there is the state up there. Then there is government. And then that government is divided into three that must work together in harmony, not in competition, not in conflict, because you not move.
So it's the competition.
The executive arm, which is the presidency, also happened to be the state. So the president is both head of government and head of state. So you cannot turn him into an equal of a chief justice or a speaker of the national assembly. They are not the same. No, not that. And there's nowhere in the world where it works like that.
Maranatha Africa said, agreed, everyone is trying to oust him from power, especially Ruto together with some Mount Kenya politicians. They want to continue in power with Ruto. These people earn free money from us, but in return they abuse us and cause instability in the country. Is this what is happening? Is it a political game?
You see now, again, people again there, they are getting it wrong. Ruto is quite right to go for power. He's a politician. Power, political power is a game of politicians. You are a prime minister today, I want to be prime minister tomorrow. So I will fight politically to get it. So Ruto wants to be president. There's nothing wrong with that. Let him fight within the confines of the law. So there's nothing wrong with Ruto wanting power. There's only the issue of decorum, because he's the deputy president. There are certain limits. Sometimes he goes off limits, but there's nothing wrong with it. On the other hand, the judiciary, I think at the instigation of perhaps of the civil society, is overstepping itself. It's trying to curtail the presidency, which I'm seeing as dangerous. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you do certain things, you are going to head to a station where the executive will begin to disobey the law, because you have pushed it beyond limits.
Yeah.
So it's moderation. Yeah.
Okay.
And the civil society must know it is not they people elected. If they want power, let them go for election. Then they will get political power.
And move out.
Yes.
Okay, Geoffrey Owino, I do foresee a scenario where the president will invoke Article 58 of the Constitution if judiciary continue to veto every executive policy. Is this where we're heading?
It is dangerous. You see, let me give you a very good example. Maybe we shall talk about that later, but it will serve as an example.
Okay.
The judiciary, through the High Court, has ruled that the president ought to have appointed the 41 judges without question. All of them. Of course, unfortunately, one of them died in an accident. So the remaining 40. The president, through his legal advisor, thinks otherwise. He thinks Article 166 does not compel him to employ all the judges. It compels him to employ from the list given, but not all. He can employ some, he can even fail to employ, but he cannot employ outside the list. He has taken the matter to the High Court. The High Court says no. He has appealed. The case as we stand today is in the Court of Appeal. Yet the judges, through their body, judges and magistrates, are saying the president is wrong. Already they have made a determination. The judges. But worse, the Chief Justice herself, perhaps to play catch-up to Mutunga and Maraga, has already pronounced herself on the issue. So where do they want the president to go now? Yeah, where will he go now? The Chief Justice, no less than the Chief Justice, says the president is wrong on the matters of Article 166.
So he cannot
and the thing is on the Court of Appeal. It could
win.
end up in the Supreme Court. Why didn't she behave like Philip Murugo when asked certain things? Murugo would say during the interview, I cannot pronounce myself on this issue because it could find me at the Supreme Court as the Chief Justice. But Justice Mother Kome has already pronounced. So where are you leaving the executive? That's what I'm saying.
Is this what you're saying?
So that guy is right.
Judges becoming politicians?
It is very dangerous. It has never worked anywhere. You try it, it will fail. Yeah, it will fail.
Juma Mzito, Manyora should understand that Mr. Kenyara, he calls him Kenyara, exceed his mandate by pocketing the legislature in order to force BBI down Kenyans' throats. Like car grants to MCAs, for example, Judiciary are just performing their role as per Constitution to return him to line.
Mr. Kenyara, as that man calls him,
Kenyara,
and as Professor Makau Mtua calls him, Mr. Kenyara.
Yeah.
President Kenyatta is a politician. That is his game. That is his food. When he wakes up in the morning, he wakes up as a politician to play politics. Every politician would want to manage the executive, manage the judiciary, and manage the legislature. Everywhere. Trump was managing Senate, you see. Yeah. The decisions of Senate were not because Trump had not transgressed, but were made because Trump had a majority in the Senate when they wanted to, during the impeachment trial. You get it? Yeah. The Congress, on the other hand, under Nancy Pelosi, you see that Congress, purely democratic. Yeah. They impeached him. Go to trial at the Senate, he's not guilty. Why? Because they had the numbers. Yes. That is politics. Every president would want to have the numbers in the legislature. Yeah, it's politics.
It doesn't matter.
These civil society people don't seem to understand. This is politics. So if you are civil society, try to lobby parliament to disregard, even to disobey wrong things from the president. Lobby. You can't force the president. No, lobby, because the president is using the political tools he has.
You made an example in your video. You said, imagine Ruto, the way he has struggled to get to where he is. He becomes president and then faces the same challenges that
then you tell him he can't work. Yeah. So why was he running for president? Why did you go through all these challenges more than 10 years?
This is the power,
including what he's now seeing as humiliation. Then when he gets the power, some small boys from civil society want to curtail his movement. You can't. It can't be allowed anywhere.
Okay, well, let me finish with one comment. One comment, you made 2 videos. You spoke about the budget. Yes. And this is what Muhindi, the brand case, said. But the same government is led by one of the best guys, according to you, sir. You've been telling us that Uhuru is doing a great job, that people are distracting him, that the judiciary and the DP's camp are trying to sabotage his legacy and his powers. I'm sure he knows what he wants in the budget, but you won't mention him negatively. What do you really stand for, sir?
People don't seem to understand. I'm telling you, the executive anywhere in the world will always want to have its way. I'm keep using America because it's the biggest country in the world. Trump wants to do a wall. Congress denies him the money, and there's a tug of war. But there are some discretional moves he can make. Get money from the military is allowed, take it to the wall. Kenyans don't seem, even educated Kenyans, sometimes I'm surprised. So Uhuru is just a president like any other. You give him leg room, you give him an arm, he'll want the whole body. You give him 1 meter, he'll want 10 meters. So there are institutions to check him. And if they fail, you can't blame Uhuru. If Uhuru comes up with a bad budget, Americans say Congress has the pass. What does that mean? It means Parliament. It is Parliament that allows the executive to raise funds. Once they raise funds, it is the Parliament that allocates the funds. It is Parliament that oversights the use of those funds. So if Parliament fails and allows a stupid, lousy budget, you can't blame Uhuru. Because Uhuru is a politician. That's how he'll want things to go. There must be other people to check him. Now, the Kenyans we elect useless people. If you elect useless people, who cannot check the executive? You can't turn around and blame anybody. Blame yourself. Look at me. Don't I look like I can be a good senator? Even a president? Yeah. But if I present myself, even in my constituency, people would rather elect an idiot than me because I don't have money to give them. Now, when that idiot goes to sleep in parliament and Uhuru is having his way, they shouldn't complain. They have themselves to complain, to blame.
Well, the role is on you. We come back deep into politics, the talk. My goodness, it's getting heated in here. Let's come back and talk about NASA coalition. Is it coming back? President Uhuru Kenyatta declared that he will pick his 2022 successors from the NASA principals when they come together and they agree on who they will pick to run against the deputy president. Now the question is, Professor, these were the Kombani leaders that met with the president. They came out and said, this is what the president has told us, and we will come together and we will unite. We'll bring up NASA, the NASA that was there in 2017. Are you seeing that happening?
First of all, we have to take them for their word. I don't know whether the president said he will support them. Mm-hmm. That's number one. And that's why I'm also surprised that Ruto will react to what to me looks like a rumor. Mm-hmm. So if he said it, then we can talk about it in that manner, but I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But I do not think the president can come out and say he's going to support a NASA candidate. Mm-hmm. I doubt that he will say that's their own thinking. Mm-hmm. He could, some insinuation of sorts, but he can't say it directly.
Well, if we are in that position right now, does that mean you were wrong when you spoke about the Madaraka celebrations and you said, hey, the president endorsed Raila at this time? Yes. Does this mean that the president is not yet fully on board with Baba?
Even when I said that the president was going to endorse Raila in Kisumu, and which he did, in my thinking, and many Kenyans agree with me, he did. Many others think no. I didn't say he was going to call Raila at the front, at the podium, and raise his hand. This is the man. So the way the Kamba people are presenting it is like he did that directly. I don't think it can be direct. It can be counterproductive if it were to be direct. Yeah. But to answer your question, yes. I do not think the president would want to I don't think anybody, including the president and the rest of these people, will want to resurrect NASA. Oh. No. NASA is not in the game. It is simply a question of getting certain individuals together. So what the president is doing is to make sure the people who command are united, and you can see now they are united. Yes. So once you have them united, then you have the Luyas. Next is going to Western to unite them, and I think it will be a very simple thing. Once they are united, unite Kingi and Joe. You know, he started that earlier on. Yes. When these 3-4 regions are united, bring them together, and pick a presidential candidate from them. It's not a question of NASA. It's just a question of the regional kingpin coming together. And then one of them becomes the presidential candidate. Can
these kingpins work together? ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi spoke of mistrust among him and some NASA principals, including Raila Odinga. Can they work together even though the president is pushing so hard for it?
You see, Mudavadi has come out strongly saying no. Now, there are two things. Number one, I don't think these guys can withstand the heat from Uhuru Kenyatta. Kalonzo sits there, Uhuru sits here. The two of them, he tells them Kalonzo support Raila. When they come out of that room, Kalonzo will be supporting Raila. I'm telling you, I know them. I don't think Uhuru will sit with Mudavadi for 10 minutes and Mudavadi comes out saying no. I asked Kalonzo one day, honestly, can you look at Uhuru in the eyes and tell him no? He said, yes, I'll tell him no. I tell him, please, the day you'll say yes, I'll come and see you, we have a cup of tea. So we have a deal with him. They cannot, they will melt before Uhuru. So all of them will back Raila. I am 100% sure. Secondly, they are also being led into a trap, like Mudavadi. If you do not go into the handshake team, the handshake people, Raila and Uhuru, will clap. You know why? Why? Because if you are Mudavadi, you'll get 300,000 votes. But what you have done, those votes could have gone to Ruto from Western. Secondly, you have created a slot for them to give to somebody. Because they only have 5 slots to give. So if you leave one, they are happy because they'll give it to somebody else. Oh. Yes.
Is this why you call them flower girls then?
Yeah, because you see we have Raila for president, there's Kalonzo, there is Mudavadi, you see? There must be a Kikuyu from Central. The Eastern people are also complaining, though you need one from Eastern, one from Western. Those are already 5, and yet there is Joho to go, there is Oparanya to go. You haven't dealt with those ones. So you are happy if Mudavadi goes. You can give to Oparanya.
They came together, they formed One Kenya Alliance. Yes. And speaking to one media house, Nick Salat, the Secretary General for KANU, he said that One Kenya Alliance is totally dependent on the BBI. Yes. Why is the BBI so important for them to come up with a formation for 2022?
BBI was a political infrastructure to drive the handshake to 2022. So it is important. People don't seem to assess politics properly. All this confusion post caused by BBI is what the BBI wanted, is what Uhuru wanted under Raila. Look at the confusion. Do people even behave like they know there's an election next year? BBI has created the confusion they wanted. The smoke. Under the smoke, things are moving.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't go through, even if it doesn't go to referendum, it has done its purpose. But more critically, they wanted BBI for the purpose of sharing the slots. It's very, very important for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, when we come back, would you rather, quite an interesting conversation. We'll be speaking more on this, but for now, would you rather as we wind up? Professor, the Deputy President has asked you to help him pick a deputy to deputize him come 2022, Martha Karua or Charity Ngilu. Who'd you rather?
Yeah, Charity Ngilu is very practical, very serious person, can do things, but I would rather Martha Karua for two reasons. One, Martha Karua is not just the Iron Lady. She's a person who, if she got power, in these games you see people, because Deputy President can become president anytime. These games you see people playing disregarding law and stealing left, right, and the judiciary slowing on cases. It can't happen when Martha Karua is president.
Yeah.
So she's tough and she has the intellectual wherewithal to be president.
Do you think she might be as loyal as the DP to the president?
Of course, it will be that's another issue.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of fireworks.
Here and there. Okay, you're going abroad, you need someone to manage your estate. Alfred Mutua, the governor of Machakos, or Kivuda Kibwada?
Well, I'll go with Chop Chop because he's young and he can make sure people are not messing my estate.
Yeah.
And I like Mutua because not only is he pragmatic, but he seems to understand the issues and the problems.
Okay, would you rather have Mukisa Kitui or Joho as the president in case there's only one vote to decide who is going to be the president and you have to cast that ballot?
If there's a tie and I'm the one to untie,
Yes.
to end the tie.
Yes.
Joe is a good man, a Sultan 001, but I'll put my bet with Mukisa Kitui. He has intellectual ability to run a country. He has talked about economic programs. He has international connections. He basically, Mukisa Kitui, if he's at State House, I have said before, I'll go to sleep happy.
Because
I know the country will be in safe hands.
Okay, thank you so much for coming through. This has been Understanding Politics. My name is Jadiel Kabiro. Just as always, if you think this conversation is worth sharing, go ahead and share it. Click the notification bell to get the videos once they're out, and subscribe. Yes, go ahead and subscribe. And leave a comment if you can. Until we talk again, Professor, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Naona umepata M-Pesa.
Kidogo watu wamenitumia.